Hey, it's Tpok. I'm back in Katawa Shoujo, and we left off at quite the awkward moment with Rin, so I think, yeah, we're in her studio. That looks like, Karen? Charon? Karan? Karan, the underworld guy on the boat with the oar. I sink into a worn-out sofa, picking up a book from my bag and opening it to where I stopped last night. I didn't really concentrate on it, but it's better than doing nothing. The two of us are so close to each other, together in the same room even, and yet we're both off doing our own thing as if we were miles apart. I can't help but wonder if this isn't about this unnatural situation. Why did I come here? Because she asked me to yesterday, of course. However, it looks like there's absolutely no need for me to actually be here. Oh, I'm sorry you feel that way. It makes me feel awkward at first, but as I recall the previous silences I've quietly passed with Rin, I settle down and try to tune into that same comfortable mood I was in back then. Time stretches, then slows down. The pages of my book rustle each time I turn them. Maybe after half an hour, or 1 hour at most, Rin breaks the silence to my complete surprise. Hisao? Yeah? Are you my friend? It's an echo of yesterday, I know it. So even Rin couldn't just push it aside from her mind. Caught off guard, I answer honestly. I don't... Yeah, of course I am. Don't worry about stuff like that, come on. What was the I don't part? Okay. She doesn't say anything further. I feel happy somehow. Several chapters later, I mark my spot, close my book, and put it away in my bag. Getting up from the sofa, I see that Rin's made considerable progress on her painting. I take a look at it for a bit, but still not quite finished, I suppose. It looks great. It's bad luck to comment on unfinished paintings. After that, I quietly leave the studio and catch the bus, taking me back to the school. Oh, I'm back again. Life settles into some sort of vague, undefined norm. I visit Rin whenever I can, but each time is as strange as the first. They consist mainly of me watching Rin at work, or just reading a book on the couch while she works. We barely talk at all. Long, quiet evenings stretch over the last few weeks of June. I sit on the couch in the atelier, listening to the quiet rustle of Rin's brush and my own heartbeat, trying to make sense of the former and forget about the latter. I'm a silent visitor in this place, a ghost. At some point I start thinking that my presence is meaningful to Rin somehow, but I never end up asking her about it. I don't bring up the forbidden topic anymore either, and try to stop thinking about it altogether. It's hard to do so, and it doesn't get any easier with the passage of time. My heart aches every time I look at the awkward figure of the girl I decided I liked, yet who refuses to acknowledge it. I still can't seem to find the right words to talk to her about anything at all, but I find quiet solace in observing her from nearby. The distance between us doesn't feel that huge when I can be close to her, even if it's like this. Rin works like a demon. There's barely a moment when she's without a brush between her toes, or walking in circles around her current work in progress, estimating it from every angle and distance. She seems to be completely taken over by her will to work, to change herself into the sort of artist that she believes would be worthy of the trust Nomiya and Sai have placed in her. Piles of sketches, works in progress, tubes of oil paint and brushes slowly begin to crowd the small atelier, making it even messier than it was before Rin acquired the right to use it. I offer to help her clean up every now and then, but each time she refuses. It dawns on me that in her mind the room is not in utter chaos, rather her system of keeping track of everything is so elaborate that only Rin herself can make sense of it. She knows exactly where everything is, from the tiniest brush to that half-empty tube of crimson that's the perfect shade for some picture in progress. Rin walks from one painting to another, looking at them as if not remembering she just made them. She talks to herself, or to the paintings, even when I'm present, always just quietly enough that I can't make out the words. Every day, Rin pours herself out onto the canvas for hours on end, squeezing every bit of her ability and even her soul to make good on the promise that she made to me, or herself. Black marks appear beneath her eyes, a sure sign that she's skipping sleep in favor of painting. I'm somewhat surprised to see her at school a few times. I never go and say hello though, as I somehow feel it would break the silent magic of the evenings we share at the atelier. Sometimes Sai comes by when I'm there. She gives me a certain kind of look when she shows up. I think she doesn't like that I'm always hanging out with Rin up here, but she never says a word about it. She isn't quite as full of praise for Rin's work as Nomiya, but is visibly impressed nonetheless. However, when she turns her eyes from the wonderful works of art to look upon the little red-headed girl that made them, a sudden deep sadness floats onto the surface of her expression. Oh, that's low down there. I can't explain it, and she never talks about it. Oh, back in the classroom, I guess. June turns into July almost without warning. End-of-term exams loom dangerously close, but all I can think of is Rin. Excuse me. I feel like a sleepwalker at school, looking forward to only the next time I get to visit that silent place above Sai's gallery. After Rin refuses my attempts at directly helping her with work, I try to figure out how to stop my chair from squeaking. I try to figure out other ways to help her. It finally dawns on me that she isn't eating properly. My course of action decided, I stop at the convenience store before going to catch the bus downtown on my next visit to the studio. I feel very energetic as I open the door to the atelier and greet Rin. I brought you some fruit. You need vitamins and actual food after all. Do you even eat up here? I do eat. If I didn't eat, I couldn't paint. Then why don't you eat a couple of these? I shake the bag full of ripe oranges in my hand and employ to tempt Rin into taking a break. To my surprise, she actually lays her brush down and walks over to me to see what I'd brought. Her expression doesn't change at all when she looks into the bag. I can't eat oranges, Hisao. It does not work very well with feet. That's alright, I'll do it. Of course I knew that. She told me herself, after all. I extract the tiny fruit knife I had with me and select one of the round fruits. After making the initial cut, I begin to peel it with my fingers. The strong scent of cut orange rind immediately fills the air as thousands of tiny droplets of oil burst from the skin. I remove the first section of the hard peel and shoot a glance at Rin. So, how's the work going? I don't know. It's like I'm in the center of some huge mountain of jelly and have to dig my way out. Must be stressful. I'd somewhat enjoy that until I suffocated. Just like being able to bounce around for a bit, and then I'd die, or just have to eat my way out. I think it might be. Even though it's just painting, at all this, everything feels really strange. I wonder if Rin is the kind of person who likes to carefully remove all the white fibrous stuff from oranges before eating them, or the more careless type who just eats them as they come. Maybe neither. I'm the former type, so I meticulously clean the orange slices one by one, while Rin watches the process with mild curiosity. I realize that I don't have the faintest idea about her likes or dislikes, or any of the other little details that make up the concept of a person for those around them. It's like, in all this time, I haven't learned much about her at all. Once I've finished lamenting that fact, I realize I've cleaned the entire orange and neatly split it into slices. I hold the slice up, bringing it closer to Rin so she can pick it up. Here. She takes it directly between her lips and then into her mouth hole. Her lower lip briefly brushes against my fingertip. Rin chews the slice carefully, savoring it as much as possible. I became fixated on the movements of her jaw, the trickle of juice glistening on her lip, the way her throat moves while she swallows the orange slice. After I realize what I'm doing, I turn away, feeling embarrassed about watching her so intently. It's not the same as it usually is. The orange? painting. Oh, well, is anything like that ever the same? It is sometimes, I think. I don't know what, though. I might be starting to paint differently soon, if this goes on. Well, wouldn't that just be the change that you keep talking about? She thinks about it, blinking her eyes a few times nervously. For a moment, absolutely nothing happens, as if time itself did a double take. We stare at each other in silence. Only that faint, tangy scent of orange floating up between us and the muffled sounds of traffic in the background. Then I pick up another slice and hold it to her. She takes it from me with her mouth, just like the first one. I didn't think it would be like this. Well, keep on going and see what happens. It's not like you can do anything else. Yeah, it's the only thing I can do. After that, she says nothing more. In the ensuing silence, I feed Rin the rest of the orange, one slice at a time. Then I peel another for her, which she eats as well. The third I eat myself, and the rest are left in the plastic bag, which I put them on a small desk next to the couch. She stands up and returns to her painting, with a strange look in her eyes that I haven't seen before. Like most of her expressions, it's completely unreadable. Even if I asked, she wouldn't explain what it means. Means. Okay, another day. Time's kind of flying right now. And seemingly no advancements since the failed confession. Oh, hello. Some days later, I spot Rin and Sai standing together in front of the gallery as I walk down the street toward the gallery. They seem to be talking to each other while Sai has a smoke. Good afternoon. I say this even though it's not really afternoon anymore. I came a bit later than usual since I got caught up doing homework. It's going to be dark soon. Hello there, Hisao. Came to visit the little kitten again. Rin makes a face at the nickname. I guess she doesn't like it. Ironically, the way she wrinkles her nose like that really does make her look a bit like a cat. Hello. Sai turns back to Rin to continue the conversation they were having. So in other words, everything is going well enough? Rin makes a difficult expression and turns her face away from me for some reason. It's difficult. It's like I'm missing something, but I will do it. Work hard and it will be fine. I'm going to have to start working on my part of the preparations. I need to do a sales catalog, invitations, decorations, advertisement, and so on. I need the names for your works, and we also need to think up the general theme for the exhibition. They don't have anything like that. I'm not very good with words, so I don't use them. If I cannot use them... I mean, sometimes I have to, but I think this is not a time like that at all. You don't like naming your works? I don't like it. Well, I guess it's hard to come up with a good name for something like this. Rin shakes her head vehemently. It's not like that. It's like, if I paint a cloud and call it an octopus, people think about it differently than if I paint a cloud and call it the end of the world. Every name is wrong. Nothing ever explains what I feel like when I'm painting. It's not a word thing. The only thing would be able to come up with new words for everything. But it would help. Would it help at all? No, I don't think so. Then the paintings will just go with unnamed number 1 and so on. It's a bit inconvenient, but that's no good. Unnamed means you just didn't come up with a good name. And unnamed is a name, like that Greek guy with the sheep and all. Sai thinks about this for a while. Furrowing her brows, she keeps looking at Rin's serious face. So you're saying your artwork should be completely without labels? I think that's what I'm saying. Sai lets out a dry laugh, the kind old ladies who smoke too much always seem to end up with. Let's hope your art will never end up in a museum. The curators would explode. She takes a contemplative puff on her cigarette, which is worn down to not much more than a butt. Then she drops it into an ashtray affixed to the wall next to the door. That's somewhat environmentally conscious of you, Sai. Then again, it could work. What do you mean? This namelessness, the rejection of labels, it works. It's a good unifying theme, and something people can grasp onto easily. Allows for a lot of room for interpretation. It gives a good impression. Think about it. All sorts of associations can be made, starting from the identity and self-definition, all the way to whatever you want to think about. You could call your exhibition Nameless and build it on that theme. How does that sound? Rin thinks about this for a while. I'm not sure how Sai managed to get so fired up by Rin's reluctance to apply names to her works. It feels like she might be extrapolating too much, but it's a pretty impressive sounding idea. I don't think that's a bad idea. For what it's worth, I have to say it sounds pretty good to me too. Sai reaches into her pocket for another cigarette, lighting it with the neon green butane lighter. Her forehead wrinkles and she rubs it as she appears to furiously think more on this idea. She doesn't say a word for a little bit, but every now and then she takes a sharp drag from the cigarette. Yes, I think this would work out pretty nicely. I'm going to take this as a starting point and work from there. I'm going to work on this. You go back upstairs and try to find your missing ingredient. I'm sure it'll come to you sooner or later. Rin doesn't reply, so Sai takes one last long pull from her cigarette and drops it in the tray to join others of its kind. The gallery owner turns to head back inside, but is stopped by Rin just as she reaches for the door handle. Sai. What is it, kitten? Can I have some cigarettes? She looks at Rin incredulously, clearly not having expected such a direct request. Not that I did either. Don't tell your teacher. She stuffs the packet in Rin's pocket along with the neon green lighter. Wow. Why'd you do that? Actually, I don't know what the smoking age is in Japan. But I think the US is 18? I think? Or 18 to buy them. The day is already folding into dusk when we climb up the dark stairs leading up to what is basically Rin's atelier. As we go inside, Rin doesn't seem to be able to settle down. She keeps pacing around the room like a caged animal, looking through the skylight at a burgundy-colored dusk. The last light of the sun's advance across the sky reflects from the clouds floating over the town, filling every corner of the atelier with a blazing orange light. So, painting is going well. She blinks, then relaxes her muscles. I didn't even realize how tensed up she was until now. Not really. I haven't painted in 3 days. I'm going in squares. Circles? If you say so. I tried doing things a bit differently, but it doesn't work. And now the old way doesn't work either. I need something more. It's not enough like this. Rin's response gives me pause, since as usual I can't exactly understand what she means. Although really I shouldn't have expected anything else. She either says nothing at all or too much. Trying to comprehend and follow her train of thought feels like wading through the jungles of Borneo equipped with a wooden spoon and a map of Hokkaido. It's annoying how her thoughts are both laid out in plain sight and hidden from view every time she opens her mouth. What's more? What more? Why are there apostrophes? You said that to Sai as well. A missing ingredient? I think I have to destroy myself. What? Okay, that sounds unnecessarily grim. What do you mean? Rin's shoulders slump and she turns to face me directly. I have to change. I've tried, but this is not enough yet. I have to destroy myself first, I think. Just to be clear, you are speaking metaphorically, right? Like learning to paint from scratch again, or whatever, so to speak? She shrugs her shoulders as if there's no difference. There is no difference. So, you're going to start by smoking a cigarette for inspiration. Maybe. I've never tried this before. Have you? No, can't say I have. Still, I'm not really sure if having a smoke is the best starting point. She responds to my words with another nonchalant shrug. I open the cigarette pack and look inside. It's almost full. Smoking is bad for you, but that's the idea here, I guess. Yes, I need to do something. I want to paint. I need something more. So, okay, fine. What's after smoking a cigarette then? How do you intend to destroy yourself? Well, we'll find out why Rin wants to... Oh, I know why, but how? She wants to destroy herself. Hopefully it's not, literal, so self-destruction. Please